Hey guys. So I'm gonna do a little breathing to start this. I thought I don't know. I feel like I'd like to start it now, and I feel like stuff has been trying to stop me from doing it, which seems to either be reverse psychology or perhaps it's just getting in my way. And you know when you're little the blinking cursor when you click on something and then it blinks where your text is going to be, you know, when that stops appearing, that like, well, either your computer is getting overloaded, or if it suddenly stops appearing when you feel like you're about to do something important, perhaps someone's literally fucking with you, or just like the demiurge is coming to get you. So let's breathe a little bit though. So breathe of in fear, because am I in fear? Yeah. I sound like a broken record on Substack saying breathe of in fear, but or like etc. Breathing and letting go. But those are the bookends of the practices in RPG life: connected breathing and letting go. And the battle plan is breathe if they come around you, otherwise let go. And you can feel the layers of fear. Like I felt like I just broke through something, and then I got a little, you know, a little sound from, you know, seemingly like one of the little irritating sounds, similar to like the sounds that people do intentionally, seemingly like when I walk around. Certainly, people who end up like I end up spending time with, and then etc. I'm not here to necessarily prove that they're doing something intentionally or not, but I heard a little sound. It's like, oh yeah, there's another little badgering sound. All right. So we may go back into the breathing as we go. We'll see. But yeah, so they want you to fail. So I've got a lot to say here, and it's actually a lot that I haven't said because I tend to repeat myself. And you know, like for example, I was watching Quantum of Conscience the other day, and I love Matt. He's great, but I will say there are a lot of things where you know it's sort of like chestnuts that he has, and and I find myself falling into that, or I have found myself falling into that as well, where you'll watch like a 40-minute video and kind of like kind of a lot of it will be like stuff that you've heard many times before. So yeah, sorry about this. And here's the thing, like you are okay, right? I mean, I hope so. It seems like a lot of the other stuff from RPG life tends to be pointing in a helpful direction. So I think that is as well. And you know, so you are okay, right? Don't live in fear. That's one of the things for today. I have perfect schedule, and also don't live in fear. And you can feel them. You can feel them kind of like burrowing into your fucking body, like energetically. It's, you know, it may sound crazy, but you know, whatever. I think I'm coming off tonally and also verbally as fairly, I don't know, just fairly well. Um, And not well in the sense of are you well? Well in the sense of like I think I'm coming off well, but they'll like just burrow into you and you feel it. You feel it. And but we have a culture of silence in this nation, in this culture, etc., in families, in my family certainly. And so somebody who's really like putting the screws on you, people pay lip service to emotional pain is the worst. But then when somebody really like puts it in you and kind of rapes you emotionally and psychologically and spiritually and whatever, it's like, oh well, we can't prove that anything happens. It's funny. The first people who will treat you like that as well is psychologists. They'll be like, well, are you sure that somebody's doing something? It's like, aren't you guys the people who are caring about emotions? Oh boy. So yeah, I don't know. I guess this back and forth thing might be helpful, and probably as we go, it's going to be easier. So yeah, but they want you to fail. That's the thing. They want you to fail, and I've got some good examples of that. Like for example, okay, so last summer, yeah, it was last summer, and see each of these things may sound insignificant or insubstantial, but as we go, you'll see a sort of a pattern maybe. So hold on. So last summer, um, I've been battling to get my life back in order just about every fucking time. And of course, I was doing that again and I was making some good progress and like I think I was applying for jobs and doing all these things. And one of the things that I was doing was I had a lot of dirty laundry. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to wash all this laundry. So like I was in the process, like literally I think my intention was like I'm literally going to wash everything and I put it all in bags and like it was a lot and it was pretty fucking dirty or a lot of it was. And so I started washing it and what do you know? Now you may say this is a coincidence. How many coincidences are there before it's a pattern of behavior or it seems like it might be anyway. I'm not saying that I have the direct answer here for any of this stuff. I'm just saying this is what happened. This seemed to have been the timing of it and let's see what it was, right? So hold on. Okay. So, of course, the washing machine breaks. Oh wow. Oh wow, wait a second. Oh, suddenly the washing machine doesn't work. So I get through like a couple of the things of laundry and this washing machine, it's been working for it was new like, I don't know, 5, 7 years ago or something. I don't know how old an old washing machine is, but it's a pretty nice machine. And suddenly it doesn't work. I had organized everything. I was getting everything ready to go. Everything was good and it was like, oh wow, so the next big step is just getting all my clothes clean, and then that'll clean out my room because I just have clothes all over the floor and I've had them that way. But I'm gonna do it, and the room's gonna be clean, and then that's gonna help me get a foothold for this next thing, and that, and that, and that. And I was like, I was feeling good about it, and it was great. And then what do you know? Washing machine broken, broken, mysteriously broken. Oh wow, yeah, it's broken. Okay. So that was a hitch in the plans, especially because I wasn't making money at that point. So then I go to the laundromat, and of course the laundromat it's not like incredible prices, but it's like what $5, $5 to $7 to use the washing machine, just the washing machine once. That's not to mention maybe getting detergent if you didn't bring some, and getting a plastic bag if you don't have one to carry your clothes, and you feel like whatever you brought them in a dirty bag, you want to get a clean one, whatever. Um, so it's like $1.25 for the detergent, like $1.25 for the bag, something like that. And that's before you get to the dryer. And actually, the dryer was still working at the house. So I ended up, what I would do is I'd wash them there, and then I'd take the wet clothes back to the house and dry them. All right. So, in any case, they want you to fail. That dryer, or that rather that washing machine, wasn't under my purview. No, it was downstairs. It was downstairs where I somebody could have figured out a way to make it break. And what do you know? What do you know? Like a month or two ago, um, I say something about like either I ask about the washing machine, or I just mention like, well, yeah, it's broken, right? Or I say like, well, I'm gonna go to the laundromat because the washing machine's broken. And what do you know? The person downstairs says, "Oh, the washing machine's not broke. The washing machine works." Not And the thing was though, like it wasn't like they just had told me it was broken. Like it wasn't working. I don't know what it was, but it hadn't been working. And I plugged it in, etc. And they like appeared to try to figure it out. But suddenly, like a month or two ago, it's like they said it as if it just had been working, as if it's just like, oh yeah, no, the washing machine's working. And so I, lo and behold, it was working. But I was here having like infinitely more stress, and also getting through those clothes a lot less quickly. And I never got through the clothes. I haven't done it yet, but maybe I'll make a push to do it again. We'll see if the washing machine breaks again. Um, and I was going to the laundromat spending like fucking, $7 to $10 just to wash it. Not to mention the gas to get over there, the time it takes, the harassment I got over there. One of them literally said the name of my boss when I was over there. I guess it doesn't matter now. The boss had an uncommon name named Claudia. And so this somebody there, like they literally said, like, well, Claudia said he was gonna be fired in like 10 days or something. That's just the kind of shit that you get like with gang stalking. It's like people just throwing out like specific references to your life, and you're like, did they just fucking say that? And of course, you're not going to go ask them, like, did you say that? Because then they're probably going to deny it, or they're going to say they were talking about something else, or like whatever. But that mixed with them, like doing specific trauma triggers often enough when you're there and doing them fairly ostentatiously, all these things, it's like, okay, so I'm going to basically a hive of wolves over there. Not that I don't live in a den of wolves already, or at least a den of one. Here's another example. This is from a couple days ago. There's a really great Sedona method practice. I'd recommend the Sedona method. It's very good. It's one of my five wisdom books in RPG life. But there's a really great Sedona method practice where it's on page what, like 210 to 213, where it's about visualizing your goal, whatever the goal may be. You visualize it, and like you do it a few times. It's like visualize it and really get into it, and then see like what feelings or thoughts come up to the contrary, like I don't have this, I won't have this, etc. And then you release on that. You like let go emotionally, you let go of some wants maybe surrounding that, whatever, and whatever. And so what I was thinking about, at least in this case, was like moving out to my own house. I probably shouldn't even reveal that, because then somebody could probably find some fucking way to attack it. But hold on. And so, um, this this process is pretty good, and it was helpful, and like and it's sort of grueling too, because it feels like just like the psychological or emotional or spiritual rape kind of stuff that seems to happen a lot during that process. Not only was it like, you were working with like whatever happened, and it seemed actually like relatively little, interestingly. But not only are you working with like whatever like thoughts seem to come up to the contrary, but also in the Robert Bruce sense of like sometimes you have a sense of like when emotions seem to be coming from you versus like coming from external sources. it seemed like the big thing I was working with was that when I was sort of doing the visualization or about to release, it wasn't that it was a sense of like, oh, I can't have it. It was again the sense of pushing in from like a person who perhaps is trying to like fuck with me emotionally or psychologically or spiritually. And so I was kind of like I was doing this visualization process and seeing what I could do also while dealing with that. Now I could have maybe asked some releasing questions about like them, the force, like sort of the emotional feeling force pushing in and like seemingly trying to derail me from doing that. But it seemed like that was external to the process. It seemed like that would have just been going away from the process and dealing with something else. So I was sort of able to get through it. Herkily jerkily though it may have been, I was sort of able to get through it, and it felt good. And I was like, all right, great. And so then I'm like, all right, you know what? This house has some bad energies going on. I'm gonna go take a walk. So I get my, I get my headphones and blah blah blah, my phone. I'm going to take a walk. What do I see? Or what do I hear? The second I fucking walk out of the house, the other front door to the house opens, and it's so thematically relevant. It's amazing. But basically, someone opened the door as if to talk to the cat. Although maybe it's just synchronicity, evil, dark, bad synchronicity, maybe or maybe not. But they said, "Don't you want to come back in?" Don't you want to come back in? So I'm just doing this release or something like that. It's like, so I'm just doing this releasing process on moving out to my own house. And I'm trying to fight with these energies that seem to be trying to derail me from doing that the whole time. And I get through it and it's like, all right, like this was probably twice as hard or like 8 times as hard as it would have been if I didn't seem to have someone like real trying to fight me, or who knows, maybe it's some kind of demons or something in the atmosphere, or some kind of directed energy weapons from some horrible person down the street with their green light on in front of the house, etc., like the Great Gatsby, or like the people who say like, well, you might be gang stalked if people have strange colored lights in front of their house. Yeah, like, and then you look out and it's like, oh wow, somebody does. That's strange, right? Oh wow, that goes along with all the other stuff. In any case, I'm having a tough time with this, whatever the case may be, beyond just like the actual process itself of like, what doubts do you have, or what seems to be arising internally that seems to be fighting with this. It seems like externally stuff is coming in as well that seems again extraneous to the subject matter. So, um, in any case, I just get done with this and I walk out the door. And again, what do I hear? But literally, as soon as I walk out of the door, the other door opens and I look down. And I see an arm coming out. And the person says, like, don't you want to come back in? Or do you want to come back in? They say it in this sort of plaintive, kind of pleading tone or something. And it's like, wow, okay, so wow, what an amazing synchronicity, right? What an amazing synchronicity that this person would be saying something thematically like, don't you want to come back? Don't you want to not leave the house? Don't you want to not get to move out on your own and have your own life? So that's another example. They want you to fail. It's like, well, Matt, that one sounds like it's just basically like a similarity in theme or something, and it's not necessarily or a synchronicity or kind of a coincidence. It's like, okay, yeah, well, we got the I thought to say the garbage can. We have the laundry machine thing. Then we have That one was just recently. I've got plenty of these things, but I thought that one was very on the nose. And if you follow me with it, it's like that one might actually be one of the most striking. It certainly was to me, perhaps. And by the way, the energy that carried with that "don't you want to come back in" thing, or whatever. Maybe you could just say how I was thinking or feeling about it. Like I had a bit of walking to do and a bit of letting go to do to then let go of that, because it felt like they were kind of trying to pull me back in, just having just having like said that. And again, like eh, when I open the door, they do it too. It's like at least I would hope you'd give me the leeway to say that that's kind of a coincidence. Okay, another one. I've talked about this before. This is a quick one, but first day, I didn't end up keeping the job anyway because they were very abusive there. I've talked about it in abuse period on my channel and the out and stuff like that or whatever. Maybe it's in the out. Anyway, um, first first morning, literally the first, yeah, I think it's literally the first morning that I'm going to work at my new job that I had recently. Um, what do I hear? Like I'm getting everything ready. I'm getting up in the morning. I'm like, I'm getting really like, on task and whatever. And not that I'm not. I don't know. You could look at me and you could say, Matt, you look like a wasteoid or whatever. It's like I got a whole fucking list of things that I do, and like you can see all these fucking check marks. These all represent like these all represent things that I do. I'll tell you what I did this morning just so far. I did a morning power session that's 15 minutes. That's 5 minutes connected breathing, then 5 minutes connected breathing with things are going well as sort of a mantra or repetition or something, and then 5 minutes of Sonona method, like letting go. Then I did a middle pillar, that's about 5 to 10 minutes. Then I did two Vipassana sessions, each of them 10 minutes. Then, right after the second Vipassana session, I did two Tony Robbins breathing sessions. He recommended in Personal Power 2, he said, if there's one thing you take away from this, do this breathing session. He recommends 3 times a day. It's breathing in, breathing out, etc. That takes, I'd say like 5 to 7 minutes each one. If you're doing it more slowly, maybe not. So that went from like 9:40 to like 9:55. Then I read 20 pages of Akira, the manga, the volume 2. Yeah, it's a manga. I have done the 20 pages in the morning of like an actual novel or something, but I've found recently it's been so taxing that it's like, you know what, I don't want to put so much on my plate that it's just like I walk around like feeling like I'm then working against myself. So I've been doing the manga, and that's been nice too. And that was just this morning. I did all that yesterday morning, and then later today, this would be the perfect schedule. I'm thinking of doing 40 push-ups, 60 sit-ups, two more middle pillars, then another breathing session, then another middle pillar, then writing, or at least sitting with like a word screen, or just like sitting there with like you're either gonna write or you're gonna essentially like sit here for 20 minutes. Other things I'm doing, I'm at 12. I'm gonna plan for like a job interview that I have tomorrow. Then I've got some video game playing, and that may sound funny, but as you can see, I'm doing videos on here. So I've wrote down like treat it like a job for the YouTube stuff, and so that's something as well. I'm also thinking of putting together like clips for a YouTube video that I thought that I was hoping to maybe finish it yesterday. I didn't. I had a question mark ultimately, like play hard. Finish hard video. It's going to be play hard games, I think. Etc. But like I'm doing a lot of shit. All right. So in any case, the maybe earlier this month, towards the beginning of the month, I'm getting ready for my first morning at work, and this may seem like another synchronicity thing or another like, well, it's just a coincidence. But what do I hear? I'm pulling back into the driveway. I think I went to get some gas. I've got like only so many dollar bills left, and so I'm really like needing it out and blah blah blah. And like, so I'm going back to getting back into the driveway. Then I'm gonna get my stuff and I'm gonna go. And what do I hear? I pull into the driveway within like 5 seconds, I think, of the car like stopping, maybe like half a minute or something. I hear "fuck you" coming from inside the house. It's like, oh, that's the morning where I'm starting a new job. Oh wow, that's a coincidence. That's a synchronicity. That's a similarity to the other kind of stuff that I've been maybe dealing with. Right? Hold on. Okay. What else? I mean, it's all sorts of stuff like that. Um, for example, like often, just when I'm feeling good, like often I'll like breathe, and you see me doing it here, etc. Often I'll feel like kind of burdened and kind of like, oh no, like everything's encroaching on me, like emotionally or whatever. And then more than once, And to the point where like it's sort of like I've thought about it, like, oh yeah, like, this is what, and I think I've talked about it too. It's like, oh yeah, this is what seems to happen sometimes. It's like I'll finally get to a place of emotional clearing and I'll be like, oh yeah, like I finally feel good. And that's exactly when a person comes up the fucking stairs and brings her bad energy and like knocks on the fucking door. And sometimes even kind of like manically. It's like at a certain point, especially if you go to the more gang stalking period video yesterday where I talk about like basically it seemed like something that nobody should have known about anyway, would have known about. It seemed like that was being reflected in sort of the gang stalking mockery that was happening to me, and I have video evidence of it. Check it out. Not of the thing, and not necessarily saying that this was the case, but I have video evidence of the thing happening that could have been a direct, clear mockery of it. But it seems like it's not just like hearing what you say or even seeing what you do. It often seems like based on how you feel or even what you're thinking, like someone will then come in like as if they're alerted, as if they're coming to put out a fire to fuck you up.